you have to remember that he writes that very early on in the early 20th century, when there was, enormous optimism about modernity. Everyone just assumed that we were entering the world of machines and progress, and the Church of England had just given the thumbs up to contraception, and now we were going to start engineering our own bodies, and we were going to take full control, and imperial peace, everything was going to be dominated by the unsophisticated races were going to be dominated by the sophisticated races, and everything was going to just get better and better through the mechanization of every aspect of life until we had reached the perfect summit of Baconian domination of nature, which was identified with this kind of chaotic, diseased, tangled, difficult, unruly, unwieldy sort of stuff with which we're surrounded, and we were gonna conquer it through industry, and so there was such deep and profound and immovable optimism about what the modern project was going to deliver. And Guénon just releases this short book where he just tries to... The book is just him repeatedly bringing down a sledgehammer on modernity, right? And then he writes later the Reign of Quantity, which is a much deeper, much more metaphysical analysis of modernity. And what Guénon identifies is that whilst everyone thinks that modernity is a positive project, modernity is a positive project, is a project of building the machines and taking control and expanding our domination over things, over reality. What Guénon shows is that actually the modern project is a purely negative project. It is a project of negation. It is a project of supplanting our entire received, inherited tradition, not only an abstract tradition, but a tradition of intuitions, of instincts, of habits, of mores, of material culture, of architectural forms, of all of the ways in which we have striven to become fully human. All of that is being replaced with an obsession over the accumulation of stuff and the absolute privileging of efficiency over contemplation. And that actually this process, whilst we think it's an ongoing process of emancipation, it's actually going to turn out to be the thing that will enslave us. And what's so amazing about Guénon is that he frames the entire modern project within the classical realist, or if you like, Thomistic, principles of act and potency. Because what he sees is that as we are becoming more and more enmeshed in our materialism, for the classical mind, what matter is simply a principle of pure potentiality in receipt of substantial form that actuates it into the corporeal realities with which we're surrounded. So actually the only, if you like, here's a provocative way of putting it, the only reason for matter is as a conduit to convey to us the divine ideas of God that are imitated by the substantial forms that matter receives. So when we see all of reality in terms of matter, we see all of reality in terms of the principle of pure potentiality, which is another way of saying that our entire understanding of reality tends or inclines towards non-being.
We're becoming less real.
Yeah, we're becoming less real, which is why, of course, and he foresaw this, we would ultimately end up taking refuge in pure abstractions, and then we would end up just tormenting the entire world in a realm of ideological squabbling. right? Which is what we're now all imprisoned inside. But what Guénon realizes is that it's simply superficial to think that modernity is just morally nihilistic. It's metaphysically nihilistic. At the level of ontology, the entire modern project is privileging the principle of pure potentiality.